Hi guys. This is the first journal, school journal for the year, and it is a pre-journal because we haven't started school yet. It's Saturday. However, we did do some tasks that are concerning or that includes school. So that's why the journal starts today on a Saturday. I want to recap what we kind of covered today or what we actually did. And also share a little bit about or give you some exposure to our playbook that I am working on. It is an organic type of document. We have to update it when changes are made and how we're tweaking different things. So there's a few things I want to call out on this playbook. First of all, the first thing I want you to take notice is that we have a name. We named our school year. What we are this year are the Achievers. So we are the Achievers. And this is our Scrumban playbook. Now, what that means is that we're using Jira as our Kanban. The Kanban board that we're going to use is we're going to use Jira from Atlassian, and but we are using Scrum events. We are using Scrum events. We're not officially going to run them as starting sprints and different things like that because we end up using the team based project um, uh, a team manage project. So the team managed project does not allow for running sprints. And that just to me gives way more flexibility than trying to run a sprint because those sprints are so it's just better not to have to deal with so tedious and so structured of using the actual scrum. But we're going to most definitely use the scrum guide a lot. And so we're going to come down here. There's a lot of things that talks about Scrum that I'm going to actually skip. Now, one of the reasons why I am using Scrum for my not just Scrum itself, but agile principles in the Scrum guide, and because I am a certified Scrum master, I don't work as a certified Scrum master. So, in order for me to keep my skills up and to utilize my skills, and that is to use it. And also because I do have to be recertified in 2 years. So I need to keep training in those kind of things. And I thought a good way to use my skills was to employ it in a certain way in my home school. Now, I do want to mention this here. Our Scrum team is very special because it does sort of, I am the Scrum master in the roles that are set. And the product owner in this case, what is my husband. And for my school, he's the principal. Okay. Then a developers, of course, is the kids. Now, as a Scrum master, um, I will be evaluating how Scrum fits in our school. So I'm really trying to use this playbook that's going to actually give a guideline and framework of how we're going to use Scrum for our actual school. And at the same time, I'm going to also be teaching principles with a Scrum guide and those kind of things too as well. I have not done much with the agile principles yet. Um, I may eventually um, do a little bit of that because what's going to have to happen there is the principles are a little bit different than for a school than it would be for software development. Okay, so but a lot of the same things are there, and I'm covering transparency and inspection and adaptation. One of the things I do want to call out is transparency enables inspection. Inspection without transparency. So inspection without transparency is misleading and wasteful. We will use Trello for meetings. I've created a Trello board for our meetings. It's a pretty cool board. I think I did share it on one of the other as I was on one of the other videos series where I was trying to introduce the kids to the tools we use. The the Miro board for class sessions. Now the class session is gonna be the classes that I teach. So whatever classes I'm gonna be teaching, I'm hoping I'll be able to incorporate mirror board and Bureau Kanban for assignments tracking, Excel for record keeping, and the Jira Confluence for documentation to assist with this adventure. So we most definitely using a lot of tools. The kids, they do not have to use Trello. Trello is something that they would see from my screen. The Miro board, they have room on there to play and do things on the whiteboard as they want to as well. And Jira, this is the one place that they will use the most. Excel is something I use for record keeping. It's my record keeping system. That's where I will record their grades. They'll put their grades in here. They will when they finish their things, they will put their grades in here, and I would transfer those grades in Excel and eventually import the grades from Jira into Excel or whatever my record keeping system is. At this point in time, it is Excel, and I probably should mention another thing here, and that is in the Jira Confluence. I should mention that before I mention this last thing. The Jira Confluence is it's we're using for documentation. It's the place that we're using to keep track of our documentation. And the last thing I should mention is we're using Tableau. And Tableau is mine um to I'm gonna say Tableau to so let's go ahead and edit it here. Tableau. We're not even in the right place. Mhm. I'm gonna put it here. So Tableau for dashboards. For dash for Tableau to visualize data. I don't know, for data viz, right? For data visualization, okay? Data visualization. And uh-oh, I did not mean to do that, but oh well. Okay. Okay, Trello. Trello should be added to dictionary too. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Yeah, so Tableau, and I did a video on Tableau as well. So I'm going to be working on data visualization to for the wow factor, mainly for and I'm hoping to have maybe I'll move my progress reports there. Maybe everything, nothing to be in Excel, everything will go from Jira to Tableau. Who knows? So that still remains to be seen. I think the one of the things that I want to accomplish here is I don't know. Well, I want to help other homeschoolers, okay, homeschooler administrators. I'll put it that way. So, and I don't know how much of my Scrum mastery I want to use for that piece. But do I want to really get involved with, um, I want to simplify it down to one tool instead of, at least for helping other homeschoolers. I don't want to have all these tools that I'm using right now, right? Where's that part at? This is where the transparency come into play here. So all these different things. Matter of fact, let me see if I would love to highlight some of these. I want to bold some of them. So let's do that. Let's bold this right here on the mirror board and the com. Scrumban and Excel and Tableau. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight those. So I have to see exactly what I want to share with other homeschoolers. I think I mentioned this in another video, or maybe I mentioned it in my podcast. I'm not sure, but I want to find something that's very simple, and I think having one thing is pretty cool. And I do not know how complicated I want it to be. I think Excel is good, but what if they don't have Excel, right? And because this is Excel. What if it's Google Sheets? What do I need to do there? Or if it's a different application. Most of these things that I mentioned, Trello, Miro, Jira, they're web-based and you can see it on the Mac or the Windows. So I really have to decide. And I think if I have the Kanban and then things are shown on Tableau, it's probably the way to go. And I guess I only want to help with just the record keeping. I'm not quite sure yet. But whatever I decide to do, this is where I'm starting. I'm starting with Excel. Okay. But if Excel is not a something thing that they will have, I do see the Kanban being helpful. I do not know how yet from a visualization standpoint, like how would I put the data in, um, or how would I clean the data to get the data ready for Tableau? That's a whole nother question based on how the summary looks in the Jira, right? So it's a really interesting thing to think through of how what that would look like. Okay, so there's a lot of things to think about. I may need to start hanging out with a friend of mine, and I may need her help. Um she provides different IT solutions, and so maybe I need to work with her. Maybe we can come up with something. Maybe it's something we do together. Okay, she does not have any kids. Well, let me rephrase that. She's not homeschooling any kids, and she does have a son, but he's grown. So now, but I know she understands the importance of education, those kind of things for kids, and what some information that was important for her to see and to know about her child when it came to the progress that they were doing. So I want to really get into the data visualization in Tableau, and I'm so far from that. I'm so far from that, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to um work with over time and get some more things completed and get some really good data and visualization. That would be cool. Things that people want to see. Okay, so I'm going to end this video. I do think that we're off on a good start, but we won't know if we're on an off until we won't know if we are off on a good start until the end of the week. So we're going to use empirical data, right? So once what happens on Friday when we get ready for our sprint review, we will see. We will see how things are going to go. Okay, so first the daily scrums, then our sprint review at the end of the week, and hopefully I have another journal touch point for that so we can review on what we did for this sprint. How did it go transitioning? Doing a sprint review and the sprint retrospective, and then also sprint planning all in one day. Is that even possible? Should we even do that? Should we take a break in between each one of them? So we got to find out about that, and how long are these meetings really going to take us, or these events, ceremonies. What are we really gonna how are we gonna set those things up? So that's what we're gonna be trying to work through this week, and I'm hoping we'll have fun. That's one of the goals, is to always have fun and to grow and to get it done. So hopefully the kids are motivated as I am. Um, and I'm motivated in a different way, right? I'm motivated because it has to be done, but I do want to, make it as easy as possible. So that's what we're working toward. So I do hope that, we do accomplish that, and I do look forward to having a reflection on this on Friday or even Saturday for that matter. Okay? Thanks a lot. See you next time.